Hey guys, Ian here. Welcome back to ProduceFaster.com. So, maybe you have been faced with a situation where you need to do this, or you've at least heard the word and thought, I don't even know what that means or why I would do it. Have you heard of transposing? Or modulating is another word people use. The simple answer is it just means we're changing keys. And if you don't know what that means, here's what it is. This is a key. This is a key. These are all keys. Each of them has their own major scale. Okay? So, whether it's the key of C or the key of E flat, G sharp, F sharp, it doesn't matter. Each of these have their own major scale, which means that I can take a pattern of notes or a pattern of chords and apply it anywhere on this keyboard and it works, okay? Okay, so the next question is, why would you do that? Well, why would you change key? There's probably lots of reasons, but I can think of two main ones, at least for me. And that is that I have singers that I work with that, sometimes the song isn't in a key that they can sing very well in. And so I have to constantly adjust, especially like as a worship pastor. I have different people singing sometimes the same song. We might sing the same song on Sunday, but I might have a female vocalist this time versus a male vocalist, and they're going to sing it very differently. And so I have to be able to take that same pattern of notes that exists in that song, 1, 4, 5, 6 minor most likely, and change it from whatever key we happen to be in to a key that accommodates that vocalist better. Another reason you might do it is to change the tone. And I want to just kind of demonstrate for you, so you can hear how the key changes, maybe for a vocalist, but also you can understand this pattern exists in whatever key we're in. And it just changes the feel of the song. So I'm just going to make something up here, and you guys just kind of listen and hear how this sounds. Okay, so that's in the key of C. And the pattern, I guess, is the 6 minor, the 5, and the 4. And obviously I'm being fancy with inversions and all that kind of stuff. If you don't know what inversions are, we got a whole video on that you can go back and watch. I'll link to it in the description. Let's jump over here. That's key of A. Different tone, same pattern. Understand? You hear it? But it really provides a different tonality, different quality. And there's no wrong way to do it. It's really up to your preference, right? When you're producing, you might have a chord pattern that you like, but it's just really not hitting. And so you're going to want to change the key. And so hopefully we're going to cover here how you can do that, where you would do it, and just kind of clear up all those mysteries for you so that it's really easy. Okay, I'm going to start with probably the most common instrument that people transpose on or change key. And a lot of times they don't even know what they're doing, which is awesome. I love, I always like to say music is easy. So, especially when it comes to guitar players, which I am not. I know enough to be dangerous. Guitar players will often use this little guy here. This is called a capo. Here's how a capo works. Let's back up a little bit and review some basic music theory. We have this thing called the chromatic scale, which just means every note, right? Every note. On a guitar, it's the same. You've got your frets. Every one of these represents a half step or one note. In really nerdy music theory, they would call it, oh man, I don't even know. It's just a note. Just don't confuse yourself. One fret is one note. Okay? So if I am a derpy guitar player and all I know is how to play chords in the key of G, but I need to play in the key of A, check it out. Look on the piano. This is G. Let's count how many notes there are from G to A. 1, 2. Okay, so that means I'm going to place the capo 1, 2 notes up. Boom. Now, when I'm playing a G, I'm playing a A, really. So that's a real simple way to do it. You will have a much easier time using a capo if you can start to wrap your mind around what are my chromatic notes. Memorizing, it's easy for me because I play piano, so I've got the keyboard memorized in my head, and I can quickly just go, okay, I need to put this, on the 3rd or the 5th or the 7th fret and know what I'm doing. So taking a little time to maybe memorize that stuff will make this much easier if you're a guitar player and you're trying to keep on track with using your capo. And capos are fun because you don't necessarily have to use it for changing key. You can use it to play different chords and be in the same key, and again, changing the tone of how you're playing. Here's a great example, a little rabbit trail here. That's the key of C, right? Let's count it up. We got 7. Did I do that right? Yep. Now I can play in the key of G and be playing C notes. This is especially cool if you've got multiple acoustic guitars, and so you want to maybe separate the sounds out a little bit. Somebody can be doing that while somebody's playing the normal chord. Okay, enough of that. That's an easy way to change key without knowing too much. A lot of you guys, especially synthwave producers, are using MIDI. And so this makes it really easy for you guys to change key. I'm sure it's probably happened to some of you. You've been working on a project, you got the song all knocked out, you bring in a guest vocalist, and they're like, that's not really in a key that's going to work well for me. Now, what I'm about to tell you is handy for that situation. It is handy if you are in a band, if you're a worship leader and you need to change key with some of your other vocalists. This is a really key thing to know. Okay. It's a rule of thumb. Just like anything else, it's not perfect. It's just a good place to start, okay? Here's what I do. If I am working with a vocalist and the song is way out of their range, either way too high or way too low, generally, I will go to the 5th. What do you mean? Okay, backing up, you guys remember, we have the major scale. We'll just use C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I will go to the 5th note, which happens to be G. And so I will use that as my basis. That's where I'm going to go. It's where I'm going to modulate to. So instead of playing in the key of C, I'm going to play in the key of G. And again, generally speaking, that has a tendency to either solve the problem or get us really close to where we need to be in changing the key so that it works for that vocalist. So just to review, we've talked about this many, many times. In the music world, everything revolves around this major scale. And within the major scale, we have this thing that professionals love to use. We call it the Nashville number system. And all we've done is taken the 8 notes in the major scale and numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so that I can play any key and I can play that same pattern of notes and It applies no matter what I do. Then, if I'm playing a song and it's in the wrong key for somebody, we'll say we're in C, right? So 6, 4, 1, 5 is an overused chord progression. I need to go to, it's either too high or too low for my singer, so I'm going to jump over to G and play that same pattern in a different key. Okay, now to help you guys, I will link to it in the description. I created a silly little cheat sheet that has every key, and it has the 1, 3, 5, so you can play chords. It has all the numbers so that you can identify how to play the chord, and you can identify common chord patterns. And so it's actually very easy to transpose with something like that, because you can just, if you know what the number pattern is, then you can quickly move it to another key. So I hope that helps. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys next time.